Hey everyone, Electra here, video number 2 of the Mayfair Mall in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I believe it's actually the part called Wauwatosa. And oh, there it is, Board Game Barrister. That's why I'm here. That's why I drove up here from Waukegan, which is about 40 miles to the south. And yeah, so I'm doing a couple laps, and then I'm gonna spend some quality time in the Board Game Barrister. But before I do that, I want to get my laps in first. And so yeah, there we go. Actually got some people in there. Beautiful looking store. That's their trademark, I think, is just these really warm and inviting stores with high quality fixtures and lighting. It's an inviting place. Most board game stores that I've gone to are well, they're mostly ran and designed by nerds who don't have much aesthetic sense, unfortunately. They're very utilitarian stores for the most part. They're not really made to be attractive in any way or to draw you in. They know the nerdy crowd are going to be drawn in no matter what. So, but then there's people like me that appreciate a nice ambiance and appreciate good decor and color tones, and just a pleasant, well-smelling environment goes a long way to attracting in people that are not your typical customer, like women and people who maybe aren't the typical nerd, but they're interested in that activity. So yeah, here we are. Nice carpeting. Not as many cart vendors in the middle, and it's a much wider. It feels a lot wider than the St. Louis Galleria, so you don't feel as cramped when you're walking around. But all the same stores for the most part. I mean, I thought about this when I was driving around Chicago yesterday, Chicago proper, but it's it doesn't really matter where you live anymore. Driving around Chicago proper was I felt like I was basically in LA. Of course, the weather didn't was definitely an aspect to that because it was about sunny and 80 degrees. But just the way the streets were laid out and just the way you had to drive and strategically position yourself at times to make sure you got where you wanted to go, that was all very Los Angeles for me. So with the exception of very few things, almost every city is now the same. Except for things except for non-man-made things that you cannot control, like climate or topography. Here's the food court. La Mesa Mexican Grill. I really hope I can find some Mexican places that are vegan.